Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know I love it when you share cool opportunities, and this one's a doozy. Someone sent me a chance to get a whole library of like 800 video courses.
800, wow.
Yeah, 800. We're gonna have to unpack that, but before we get lost in the numbers, I think it's pretty clear this could be huge, right?
It definitely has the potential to be. You know, this isn't just about learning stuff. It's more like, I guess you could think of it like a one-stop shop, you know?
Yeah.
For a ton of different skills, and maybe even a way to like get your own business going.
Okay, so let's break this down a little. Like, what exactly does this collection have in it?
At the core, you're looking at over 800 video courses. And these cover like a huge range of topics. But it's not just the videos. You get these pre-made sales pages for each course too. And get this, you get full resell rights.
Wait, so resell rights, what does that even mean?
So basically, you can repackage these courses and sell them yourself. Like, you know, make them your own and everything.
So you could basically have like a head start in that whole online course market.
Exactly.
That's really interesting. So walk me through the courses, like what kinds of topics are we actually talking about?
Well, there are a bunch of different niches covered, you know, so there are courses on things like digital marketing and social media marketing too. And then there's like fitness, business, and education.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and some on spirituality and relationships.
Really?
Yeah. And then you're more, I guess, traditional marketing stuff. Oh, and there are even some on cryptocurrency.
Okay. That is quite the mix. Sounds like there's really something there for just about everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's what makes it so interesting. It's not just that you get to learn some new skills. It's that there's like this whole potential to really make something of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe even tap into some pretty big markets.
Yeah, I mean, with 800 courses, I'm kind of lost on even where to start.
Yeah.
That's a lot to sort through.
Yeah, it could be a bit much. It's all about figuring out what clicks for you, I think.
Yeah.
You know, what are you already into? What are you good at? Like what actually makes you excited to learn?
Okay, so you probably don't want to jump into something that's like totally new then.
I mean, you could, but it's good to be smart about it.
Okay.
Right. Exploring new things is great, but you also want to be thinking about demand, right? Like what skills are people looking for right now? What has, you know, good potential for growth or even profit? Especially if you're going to resell.
Okay, so say you found a couple of areas that seem interesting. Let's dive into these resell rights a bit more. I know we threw out a couple of terms, PLR and MRR. I bet a lot of people have no idea what those mean, like private label rights, master resell rights. So what are they?
So PLR is basically, it gives you the freedom to like change the courses, you know, make them your own, put your own branding on them, all that. And then you can sell them as if you made them.
So you aren't just like learning, you could become a content creator yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And then with MRR, you can like take it up a notch. You can rebrand them and sell them just like with PLR, but then you can let other people resell them too.
Wow.
Yeah. It really opens up some possibilities, right? I mean, you could even build a whole business off of this, potentially.
Okay, so I think we're getting a clearer picture here. But before we get too deep into that whole business side, what about the courses themselves? What makes these different? Why would someone choose these over just going to, I don't know, Skillshare or something?
That's a really good question. And it's one that we'll dig into more for sure. But I can tell you that these courses, they are designed to really give you something you can use. You know, they cover the basics, but they also go into like the more advanced stuff. And I think they're laid out in a way that's easy to follow.
So it's not just like a quantity thing, it's actually good quality stuff.
Exactly. And we're going to get way deeper into the specifics of like what you learn in these and what the benefits really are in our next segment.
All right, so we've covered like the crazy number of courses.
Right.
And we even touched on the resell thing.
Right.
But let's get down to like what really matters.
Yeah.
What are people actually going to learn from these courses?
That's where the real meat is. These courses aren't just like fluff pieces, you know?
Yeah.
They really get into the nitty-gritty of things you can actually use in your life or your work or whatever. So like, say you're looking at the digital marketing courses.
Okay.
You'll find ones that cover SEO, and then there's social media marketing and, content creation.
Yeah.
And email marketing too. All that good stuff that's like super important these days.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost like they give you like a guidebook to the whole online world.
Yeah.
Whether you want to grow a business or just like boost your own brand, you know?
I get you. Totally.
So it's not just about those digital skills.
Right. There's a bunch of stuff on personal development too. Like how to get better at communicating or build confidence. Stuff about dealing with stress too.
So you've got like a good balance there. Yeah. practical stuff, but also things to help you grow personally.
I feel like we need to be real, though. 800 courses is a lot. Like, that's a lot to handle.
It is.
What are some of the, downsides to this whole thing? What could go wrong?
Well, you're right. It's important to know what you're getting into, right? And I think the biggest issue is probably information overload.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's easy to get excited and want to do everything.
Yeah.
But then you just end up feeling overwhelmed.
It's like being in one of those huge libraries, right?
Totally. Like so many books, so little time.
Exactly.
So it's really about being strategic. Before you jump into anything, you got to know what you want, right?
Yeah.
What are your goals? What are you hoping to get out of it? What specific skills do you want to learn? Once you know all that, you can make a plan. And then you can focus on the courses that really fit in with that plan.
So it's less about taking every single course and more about choosing the ones that actually matter to you?
Yes, exactly. You're curating your own learning, basically. Oh, and another thing to watch out for is quality.
Yeah, good point.
There are a ton of courses, but that doesn't mean they're all amazing. You know?
How do you tell the good ones from the bad ones?
Well, that's where you got to do a little homework.
Yeah.
Before you commit to a course, see if they have any previews.
Right.
Or sample materials. Look for reviews from other people who have taken it. Look for courses that are well put together that make you want to keep watching.
Yeah.
And that are taught by people who actually know what they're talking about.
Makes sense.
It's kind of like when you buy a book. You want to make sure it's something you'll actually enjoy, right? And that you'll learn something from. Remember, it's totally fine to start with just a few courses, the ones that you're really interested in. And then as you go, you can always add more.
I like that approach. Start small, see what you like. So before we move on, gotta ask about those free bonuses and the satisfaction guarantee they keep mentioning. What's the deal with those?
Right. They're like the little extra perks. I can't give away all the secrets.
I figured.
But I can say that the bonuses are basically designed to, make the courses even better.
Okay.
They might be things like workbooks, templates, or even checklists, or maybe access to a community forum where you can connect with other people.
Sounds like they really put some thought into it.
They did. And the satisfaction guarantee is a good sign too. It means they're confident that you'll be happy with what you get.
That's always reassuring.
Definitely.
Okay, I think we've covered a ton of ground here.
We have.
It seems like there's a lot of potential with this package, but you really got to think it through.
Yeah.
What would you say are the most important things for our listeners to remember?
I'd say the number one thing is to be really clear about what you want. Are you doing this for yourself, for personal growth, or are you thinking about making it a business? Once you know that, you can figure out if this whole thing is even a good fit.
So it's all about knowing what you want and seeing if this lines up with that.
Exactly. And don't forget about planning.
Oh, yeah, with 800 courses, you've got to have a plan.
Right. It's easy to get lost in all the options, so you need a roadmap.
Love that analogy.
You got to prioritize.
Yeah.
Choose the courses that actually matter to you and take it one step at a time. And last but not least, remember that just knowing stuff isn't enough.
It's about what you do with it.
Yeah. You got to actually use what you learn, try things out, experiment.
Put it into practice.
Right. Find ways to make it a part of your life or your work.
So it's about taking action, about making a difference with what you learn.
That's it. And that kind of brings us back to you, the listener.
Yeah.
We've talked about what's good and what's bad.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the decision is yours.
You've given everyone the info. Now it's up to them.
Exactly. Think about it. Consider your goals and then make the choice that feels right for you.
And hey, even if this isn't the thing for you,
Yeah,
just going through this process might give you some ideas, right?
I think so. Hopefully it inspires you to keep learning and growing.
Speaking of inspiration, remember that question we asked earlier? If you could create your own course, what would it be about and why?
It's a good one to think about.
Yeah.
What do you know that you could teach other people?
Mm-hmm.
What are you passionate about? What makes your perspective unique?
It's all about finding that inner expert,
Yeah.
That mix of what you know and what you love.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe this whole deep dive got you thinking about making your own course someday.
It could happen.
But for now, let's end on that note.
Okay.
That note of taking control and making things happen.
Sounds good. I think we've really dug deep into this whole 800 video courses thing.
We did.
We've seen the potential, the challenges, all of it.
Yeah.
And now it's your turn. You get to decide what you do next.
Awesome. We'll leave you to think about it, explore, maybe even create. Until next time, keep diving deep.
I gotta say, that question's been stuck in my head. Like, there's so much I'd love to teach people about,
Yeah.
you know? What about you? Did you come up with any course ideas?
Oh man, it's hard to choose. So many possibilities, right? But if I had to pick one right now, I think I'd go with like mindful decision making in the digital age or something like that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because we're just bombarded with so much information all the time, right?
Yeah,
It's easy to get caught up and just react, make, impulsive choices.
definitely.
So I'd want to give people the tools to like slow down and really think things through, make decisions with intention, even when it's crazy online.
That is such a great idea and so relevant. I think a lot of people would really benefit from that.
I hope so. But for now, let's bring it back to our listeners.
Yeah.
We've gone on quite the journey with this whole 800 video courses thing.
It's been a wild ride for sure.
We've seen the sheer volume of it, the potential for reselling.
The need to like really make sure it fits with your goals.
Yeah.
And of course, the importance of not getting overwhelmed by it all.
So much to think about.
And we talked about how important it is to actually use what you learn, right?
Right. Take action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because just knowing stuff isn't enough. It's about making it work for you.
Yeah. It's about making a difference with what you learn. Okay. So where do we go from here?
Well, it's your turn, really. We've given you the information, the good, the bad, and now you get to decide.
What's the next step for them?
It's all about taking that next step, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you go for this course bundle. Maybe you explore other options. Or, hey, maybe you even start creating your own courses. Who knows?
Love that.
The point is, keep learning, keep growing, keep asking questions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's what it's all about. Well, on that note, it's time to wrap things up. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely, it's been great.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.